We often regret our food choices and our eating behavior, and that makes us feel bad. So if we want to change this behavior, there are a couple of things that I believe are necessary for us to do. And the first part is really to become aware of what's going on, but also while you're doing that, to take responsibility, take healthy responsibility for your choices. You are making a deliberate choice to engage in that behavior every time. Now, it might be kind of an unconscious choice, but it's still a choice. And until you own that, until you take responsibility for that, then you're never really going to move forward, and you're going to keep having that pattern of doing the behavior and then feeling guilty about it. So you got to take responsibility for the whole situation, for your behavior, and for how you feel after you engage in that behavior. And taking responsibility is not blame. Blame is when you say, oh, this is awful, and you feel bad about it. Taking responsibility is empowering, because that means that you know that you can take action to change it. Or you can at least take action to change how you feel about the situation. Even that is empowering, and that's taking responsibility. So taking responsibility and feeling bad and blaming yourself and feeling guilty are two different things. So focusing on what can I learn from this behavior? And remember, it is a choice. Every single time, it is a choice. So rather than saying, oh, that's somebody else's fault, or I have no control over my behavior, that's not taking responsibility. So in order to take responsibility, you have to admit, I am making a choice. But from there, it's great. It's actually, again, empowering, because you can say to yourself, why am I making this choice? It could be partially because it's a habit and your brain wants you to perpetuate that habit. So we have to give a lot of respect to that, because that's a lot of stuff going on in our brains that is not easy to stop a habit. So we have to give respect to that, right? So we take responsibility, we recognize this is a habitual behavior, and it takes time to change habitual behavior. But we also want to investigate, what are the beliefs, what are the chronic thoughts that are going on in my brain that I'm just perpetuating. So looking at the behavior and uncovering the underlying causes behind it. What's driving that behavior unconsciously and consciously? And as you're doing that, you're taking responsibility. So in this case, we could actually welcome the behavior and say, hey, this is an opportunity for me to learn about myself. And then you can know yourself, and you can start to change that behavior. So get away from the blame and the shame and the guilt and feeling regret. That's not helping you. Start to take responsibility and say, my brain wants this for a reason. In that moment, my brain is choosing for me to do this for a reason. What is that reason? Do I feel bored? Do I feel dissatisfied? Do I feel unhappy? Am I afraid? Am I overstraining, overworking myself, and I'm stressed? So the behavior is a symptom, and we have to get to the underlying cause of that symptom. You can't do that if you're sitting there feeling sorry for yourself. So stop feeling sorry for yourself. Sometimes easier said than done, but that's where the work is, right? To start to take responsibility and say, okay, I'm going to learn about myself, and I know I'm making this decision for a reason. I don't actually want to hurt myself. There's another part of my brain that's telling me it's a priority to eat the cookies instead of doing something else. That's all it is. Your brain is weighing the pros and cons. So you got to figure out how to make that behavior more of a con to your brain. That's where the work is. But we got to feel good about ourselves and accept and love ourselves as we do this process.